So everyone talks about Memphis for the music, the culture, and the history. But in 2026, the real reason people are falling in love with this city might actually be the food. From legendary barbecue joints to hidden local gems most tourists never find, Memphis has quietly become one of the most underrated food cities in America. And today I'm taking you through 10 must try spots you absolutely cannot miss. Hey, I'm Jen Carsonson, a local real estate expert right here in Memphis. My team at the Live Love Memphis Group, we've been helping people navigate this market since 2008. And one thing we've seen firsthand is how much the food scene has evolved right alongside the city's growth. Whether you're planning a move or visiting for the first time or just looking for the best bites Memphis has to offer, knowing where to eat can completely change how you experience the city. And today, I'm going to walk you through 10 must-try food spots you don't want to miss in 2026. And trust me, narrowing down this list to 10 places was not easy. All right, to kick things off, we have Flight Restaurant and Wine Bar. This is one of those places people might bring up again and again when talking about the best restaurants in the city. And once you go, you'll understand why. It's right on Main Street in downtown Memphis, and it really shows how far the city has come when it comes to upscale dining. What makes Flight stand out is its concept. The food and alcohol could come in flights. So instead of choosing just one dish, you get 3 different versions, whether it's wine, soup, steak, or seafood. The vibe can shift depending on where you sit. So the balcony feels more intimate and relaxed, while the main dining area is a little more lively and social. The presentation here really elevates the whole experience too. Every plate feels polished without being overly fancy or intimidating. If it's your first time, go for the steak flight with a bold red wine. And if you're visiting Memphis for a birthday, anniversary, or date night, this is one of the safest recommendations in the city. And honestly, this is the kind of place you think about days later. Now, this next spot is completely different, but in the best possible way. If you really want to understand the heart of Memphis, you have to visit the Four-Way in South Memphis. This place has been around since 1946 and has welcomed generations of locals, tourists, musicians, and civil rights leaders through its doors. But what really stands out isn't just the history, it's how the restaurant feels the moment you walk in. It's warm, familiar, and comforting. It feels like you've been there before, even if it's your very first time. There's no pressure, no pretentiousness, just real food and real people. And honestly, this is the kind of restaurant that reminds you Memphis culture is still deeply rooted in community. When it comes to the food, you're here for the classics. Fried chicken, catfish, country fried steak, and sides like greens, black-eyed peas, and baked mac and cheese. Done the way Southern comfort food is supposed to taste. And that first bite here just hits differently. It's simple, comforting, and unforgettable. All right, let's switch it up because if breakfast is your thing, this next spot is non-negotiable. Bryant's Breakfast has been a Memphis staple for years, and it's one of those places where the line outside tells you everything you need to know. It's located on Summer Avenue, and from the outside it looks pretty simple, but don't let that fool you. Inside it's busy, loud, a little chaotic, and full of locals who already know this is the place to start their day. There's just something about that energy, the coffee pouring and the plates flying around in the kitchen, conversations happening everywhere. It just feels authentic. So people from all over the city have been coming here for years, and it's one of those rare places where you'll see construction workers, business owners, college students, and retirees just all standing in the same line. If it's your first time, go straight for the sampler. You'll get eggs, bacon, sausage, country ham, and those famous biscuits with gravy all on one plate. And once that plate hits the table, you'll understand exactly why people are willing to wait in line for it. Now let's slow things down for a second and talk about a Memphis classic, Folly Prime Steakhouse. This place has been around since 1977, and it's built a reputation as one of the most reliable restaurants in the city for an incredible steak dinner. The experience here feels intentional from start to finish. It's quieter, more private, and set up in a way that makes it perfect for celebrations, anniversaries, date nights, or even important business dinners. You're not rushing through a meal here. You're sitting down, you're taking your time, actually enjoying the experience. The filet is always a safe bet, and the rack of lamb is another standout. So pair it with their fried green tomatoes or a loaded baked potato, and you've got one of the best steakhouse meals in Memphis. This is one of those restaurants where every bite feels worth it, and the whole experience just feels complete. If you're starting to plan your own Memphis food tour, you're probably going to need a place to stay, or maybe even a permanent place to call home. To help with that, I put together a completely free relocation guide that covers everything you need to know about moving here. Neighborhoods, cost of living, schools, local hotspots, and a lot more. So you can grab your copy using the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen. So go grab that now and I'll meet you at the next spot. All right, heading over to Midtown, this restaurant always stands out. The beauty shop isn't just somewhere you eat, it's an experience. It's located inside what used to be Priscilla Presley's former salon, and they've kept that history alive in such a creative way. You're literally sitting under vintage hair dryers while eating some incredibly refined food. It has this creative Midtown energy that feels uniquely Memphis. The brunch scene here is especially popular, and on weekends, the place stays packed. The atmosphere is energetic and artsy and just plain fun. If you go, you absolutely have to try the watermelon and wings. It sounds simple, but the mix of sweet, salty, crispy, and spicy somehow all works perfectly together. And that first bite is one of those, okay, now I understand the hype moment. Okay, so now we have to talk about barbecue, and you cannot come to Memphis without experiencing it. And Central Barbecue is easily one of the most recognized barbecue spots in the city. It's my personal favorite, hands down. So their downtown location is near the National Civil Rights Museum, and that's always packed and with both locals and visitors looking for authentic Memphis flavor. And honestly, the smell alone when you walk in tells you you're in the right place. But Memphis barbecue is different than Texas or Kansas City. Around here, dry rub is king, and Central does it exceptionally well. Their ribs have that perfect smoky crust packed with flavor before you even add sauce. The atmosphere feels casual and energetic, and it works as well for a quick lunch as it does hanging out with friends before a Grizzlies game or a downtown event. If it's your first time, do the barbecue nachos. You're welcome. They're messy, they're overloaded, they're packed with flavor, and honestly, one of the most fun things you can eat in Memphis. All right, and this next one might surprise some. Petals of Peony brings an authentic Szechuan cuisine to Memphis, offering bold, spicy flavors you honestly don't expect to find in the Mid-South. It was even recognized in the Michelin Guide American South, which says a lot about how far Memphis dining has come in recent years. This restaurant feels modern and lively, and it attracts people looking for something outside the usual Southern comfort food scene. When you go, the dan dan noodles and mapu tofu are both standout dishes. The flavors here are bold and layered and spicy and incredibly satisfying. And if you're someone who thinks that Memphis food is only barbecue and fried chicken, this place completely changes that perception. Petals of Peony is proof that the city's food scene is becoming far more diverse and nationally recognized than most people realize. Moving over toward East Memphis, Andrew Michael Italian Kitchen is one of these restaurants that feels special the second you walk in. The restaurant is set inside a converted house, so the atmosphere feels warm and welcoming and intimate, more like a dinner party than a traditional restaurant. This spot was also included in the Michelin Guide American South as a recommended restaurant, which is a huge nod to how well it blends Italian tradition with Memphis creativity. It's upscale without feeling stuffy, which is part of why the locals love it so much. And the pasta absolutely steals the show here, especially dishes like almost gravy or some of the rotating seasonal specials they create throughout the year. This is the kind of restaurant where you slow down, you savor every bite, and you leave already thinking about when you're coming back. So coming in at number 9, and don't judge this one too quickly, Elwood Chef is the definition of a hidden gem. So from the outside, it's simple, honestly, and easy to overlook completely because it's in a parking lot. But once you taste the food, you immediately understand why locals love it so much. It's located on Summer Avenue and has built a huge following because the food consistently delivers. So whether people order brisket, smoked chicken, ribs, or one of their sandwiches, the flavor always seems to exceed expectations. So everything about the place feels casual and unpretentious, which is honestly part of the charm. And honestly, places like this are what make food scenes special. The spots are like without flashy branding or fancy interiors. They're sometimes the restaurants you remember the most. So this is one of those places where exceptions are low walking in and completely blown away from the very first bite. So finally, we have to wrap things up with an absolute Memphis classic, the Arcade Restaurant. This is the oldest cafe in Memphis, dating all the way back to 1919, and it's packed with history. It was even a favorite spot of Elvis Presley, which honestly makes the whole experience feel even more iconic. Walking inside feels like stepping into a different era. Between the vintage booths, the neon signs, the old school diner atmosphere, and retro design, it feels like a classy Memphis in the best possible way. And somehow, despite all the history, history, it still feels comfortable and welcoming instead of touristy. If you go, you have to try the Elvis. That's their famous peanut butter and banana sandwich, or one of their classic breakfast plates. It's the perfect way to end this list, something timeless and memorable and completely Memphis. The reality of Memphis in 2026 is this: the city is growing, evolving, and becoming more exciting by the year, and the food scene might just be the best example of that transformation. From iconic soul food spots like the Four Way to upscale downtown restaurants like Flight, these 10 restaurants prove Memphis is far more than just a stop on the map. It's become a true destination for people who love personality and history, creativity, and unforgettable food. And the best part is that every neighborhood brings something different to the table. You can experience old school Memphis history at breakfast, world-class barbecue for lunch, and Michelin-recognized dining for dinner, all within the same city. And that's really what makes Memphis special. So don't wait too long to experience these places for yourself, because once people discover the creativity and passion happening here block by block, the secret probably won't stay hidden forever. If you're thinking about moving to Memphis, relocating somewhere nearby, or just want a local team to help you figure out which neighborhoods fit your lifestyle best, my team would love to help. Be sure to download our free Memphis relocation guide using the link below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more Memphis lifestyle, food, and real estate content every single week. And if you've already been to some of these restaurants, let me know in the comments which Memphis spot deserves to make the next list. Just trust me, narrowing down this to 10 places was not easy. Thanks guys, I'll see you on the next video.